is to pretty much specify how after God had freed his people, he doesn't. The problem is when the Israelites were freed, the thing with slavery is to own non-Israelites was complete. I guess I'm not gonna say legal because I don't think it was necessarily a legal system. I'm gonna say it was.
Levitical
Is it legal?
law.
Mm-hmm.
Levitical law is a thing. So this is Levitical
Okay.
law, and it allows for the ownership of people as property.
Okay, so legal is the word then, right?
Correct.
Okay, so sure. So, in the context of this verse, back then, they allowed slavery to other, to other people, because in the Old Testament, with the Old Covenant, the Israelites were God's chosen people, which is why at the time, morally, it was right for this slavery, and I put that in quotes, slavery to occur, because
Okay,
it
hold
wasn't
on.
towards, okay.
Earlier you said they didn't own people as property for life. That didn't happen and it wasn't allowed for. Are you saying now that
I'm saying it wasn't in the slavery that you think. This was in.
Sir, I didn't say slavery. I said ownership of people as property for life. And you said no, they don't do that. Then
I say no. I say,
No,
okay.
you're cutting me off. Listen, let's start all the way at the beginning.
I'm cutting you off?
Yeah,
Okay.
listen. So you said at the very beginning, this whole thing before it started, before you read anything, I said ownership of people's property for life. You said that's not in there. Then you read Leviticus, remember? And it says that you can own people's property for life. And then you said, I don't have the proper context. I asked you for the context. You took 5 minutes to find a book and then read me a verse about Leviticus.
Which is the same, yes.
You never gave me context about owning a person as property for life that nullifies it. At all. You never gave me
Okay, so could I continue to make my point then?
You haven't made the point.
The point is the ownership of people at the time was right because of the debts that they owed.
So, no, we're talking about owning people as property for life. That's not debt servitude. These people aren't paying off a debt. They're owned as property for life. Why is that okay?
It's okay because it wasn't God's chosen people at the time.
Boom.
This is the old.
Boom. That is
But
waste.
you realize.
No, boom. What you just said is that it's okay to own people as property if they're not part of a certain race.
So the reason why I said context is because this happened thousands. No, hold on. Hold on.
You're a terrible, disgusting.
No. You keep interrupting me. You keep interrupting me. That's the problem.
Hateful, terrible person.
In the context of the Bible, this happened thousands of years ago. This was Levitical law. The old covenant.
Slavery.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, there's no context that makes slavery okay. And what you just said for everyone to hear is that listen.
Okay.
You're not listening.
You keep cutting me off. How am I gonna?
Listen. You just said it's okay for a group of people to own other people as property if they were of a certain race.
Could I make my point? 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 Because you keep interrupting me.
I don't think you're coming back from this.
No, I could make my point, but you keep interrupting me. That's the problem.
You're just gonna dig a hole deeper.
I'm not digging no hole.
You already gave me my sound clip.
I'm saying I keep recanting back to this point because
in the context of the Bible, slavery is okay.
In the context of this particular chapter, the slavery, or let me not use that word because if I continue to use that word, it's just wrong.
Yeah,
the ownership of okay, sure, because
can you define slavery?
The ownership of a person.
Okay,
that's what it is.
So then we're talking about slavery.
No. So if I say the word slavery, why do you get pressed?
I don't. I just want to make sure that you know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I mean when I say slavery.
Perfect.
And
so we're talking about slavery.
Could I use the word slavery to then continue on to my point?
Yeah, absolutely. Say you didn't want to use slavery because you said it sounded bad.
Okay. I'm gonna agree on that. I'm gonna use the word slavery from now on, and I'm just gonna use the word slavery. The context is, in the past, when Moses had freed the slaves, God took his chosen people out of Egypt. Yes. Other races, other humans were not included in that that group of people called the Israelites. Yes. Why? Because at the time, the old covenant was specifically referring to the Israelites. God is
You
still.
don't see the problem with what you just said?
I'm not even done.